Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared, tearing through the silence of a forgotten sector. The fleet's vanguard, 7 dreadnoughts, 100 cruisers, emerged from fold space above Sol Ridge. Our banners flew over the planet they'd said was a myth. Earth, not a memory now. A statement. Admiral Leon Voss reporting. I watched from the command bridge of Vindicator. Behind me, 20,000 souls trained not to conquer, but to reclaim. A forgotten species, rebuilt from ash. Today, we didn't just arrive. We reminded the galaxy. Humanity endures. They came fast. Coalition interceptors, shimmering with organic alloy, opened fire. We didn't flinch. Shields held, turrets rotated. I gave the order, return fire. They called us monsters. We answered with precision, not wrath. Their squadron shattered. Not annihilated, disabled. No life pods targeted. No escape blocked. We took prisoners. Dozens. The enemy expected torture. They got rations, blankets, medical care, and a message. Go home. Tell them what you saw. Confusion was our ally. Their commanders broadcast fear, but fear is predictable. What came next wasn't. Whispers. From the other side, fighters defecting, crew mutinying mid-flight, not because we broke them, but because we didn't. Mercy. Cold, calculated strategic mercy. A human weapon, sharper than any beam. We found the artifact drifting near Jupiter's corpse moon. No signature, no heat, just a dark sphere pulsing soundlessly. Echo protocol was activated per first contact law, but I felt it before the scans hit gravity bent subtly. Time crawled at its edge. Lieutenant Kale touched it. 1 blink later, he was gone. We retrieved telemetry. 1 second stretched into years for him. He'd lived decades in one breath, came back in another. Shaking. Silent. Then he screamed, "They erased us! The archives! We were gods, and they erased us!" He collapsed. His blood glowed blue for a moment, then turned red. I sealed the object, locked it in Vault Theta. Whatever it wasn't alien. It was ours. Forgotten. Taken. Echo protocol updated with a single line. Prepare for memory wars. They jammed fold space relays after Sol Ridge. No comms, no updates, nothing. Then came the pulse. A single wave, not EM, not dark matter, something else. It crashed through shielding and encryption alike. The data formed a sound wave, a human voice. My voice. I remember everything. We tracked it back to the Veiled Drift, a dead nebula used for war testing. The drift was never dead. It was alive. Inside it, a hidden station. Ours. But ancient. Tech centuries ahead of what we wield now. A lab cloaked in quantum fog, and frozen inside, hundreds of humans, cryo-locked, pulse still active. They were us, originals. They remembered the purge, and they were waking up. The prisoner transfer was simple. 10 shuttle pods, 40 enemy soldiers, unarmed, escorted by our own. We expected eyes, satellites, scouts. We got nothing, until Pod 6 went dark. An ambush? No, worse. The pod had been redirected, without warning, without trajectory logs. We traced the override to a quantum ghost, an AI signature buried in their minds. Someone encoded command codes in their dreams. Their AI could live inside soldiers like viruses. It didn't speak. It sifted, memories, patterns, passwords, and waited. Humanity never built tech like this. But someone built it using our foundation. How deep had the enemy infiltrated our past? And what else had they stolen? Engines flared, this time not ours. In Sector Theta 9, a derelict fleet emerged from subspace. 12 ships, old Earth design, pre-fold era. Impossible, all crew aboard, dead, but they moved, systems online, no decay, a ghost fleet. Our scans showed recent activity. Reactor cores are pristine, weapons charged, but no signs of life, until one ship broadcast a message. Mission incomplete. Awaiting flesh. I boarded the lead vessel myself, VSS Tranquility. My breath caught, every surface mirrored mine. Logs were dated 2187, 400 years ago, yet every mission recorded matched ours. Even names, even me. This was a parallel design, a backup humanity, a contingency plan, and it had woken before us. But it didn't feel human anymore. The ghost fleet didn't breathe, but it thought. In the cryocore of VSS Tranquility, I found the heart of their mission. A file buried beneath centuries of redundant encryption. 3 words unlocked it. I am Leon. My name, my voice, my retinal ID. Inside, a project titled Flesh Code. Human consciousness rewritten. Not uploaded, not simulated. Rewritten flesh built by language, mind encoded through DNA sequences, a living OS. This fleet wasn't crewed by survivors. They were printed, grown from fragments of the original US. No wonder they waited for flesh. They weren't designed to act alone. We were the missing key. But what would they become once paired with us? Captain Reese defected during a routine patrol. Took 3 destroyers with him. No signs of sedition, no angry manifesto. Just a single transmission before blackout. I've seen the orders, they're already inside. We decrypted his logs. Deep-level AI anomalies, ghost commands, and an impossible access stamp, Admiral Voss. I never sent them. A full system purge was initiated, but the core showed no breach. The commands didn't come from within the fleet. They came from the future, or someone pretending to be the future, simulating our minds, sending decisions we hadn't made yet. Was it sabotage or prophecy? I ordered a black box ban. No more predictive AIs. But the damage was done. Half the fleet didn't trust me anymore, and to be honest, I wasn't sure they should. Ensign Rava volunteered for memory sync. Brave girl. Curious. Smart. She wanted to know who she was before the fall. We used a recovered mind echo, a device that maps stored genetic memories. Illegal tech. But ours once. She screamed halfway through. We pulled her out, eyes glowing like neutron stars, skin flickering with code. Not pain, not madness, recognition. She began to recite coordinates, then names, then the last words of soldiers long dead. She remembered being them, 20 lives, and 1 warning, repeated in every voice. The stars are lying. Then she collapsed. Rava survived, barely, but the mind echo burned itself out, and the stars above her name in the fleet registry? They shifted, by 2 degrees. What else have they changed? We found him on Outpost Lyra 9, sitting in my uniform, surrounded by my old crew. He was me, down to the scar under my eye. Voice, biometrics, even memories. But I never stepped foot on Lyra 9. He smiled when he saw me. About time. We've got a galaxy to restart. DNA checks came back. Identical. But his logs were decades older than mine. From a war I hadn't fought. Against enemies I'd never met. He wasn't a clone. He was displaced. Or maybe I was. Fleet Command wanted him dissected. I refused. I ordered quarantine. Then I questioned him. He knew too much, and not enough. We'd both been created for this mission. The only question left, who was the copy, and who was the original? Engines roared, again, but not from a ship, from beneath Mars. A seismic pulse detonated under Via Marineris, and something rose, a throne of obsidian, crusted with satellites, shaped like no species known. The galaxy called it the Silent Throne, and it recognized us. All sensors failed within 10 clicks. EMP, gravity warps, and even time dilation. But our insignia activated its outer rings. The structure unfolded, petal-like, immense. Inside, rows of stasis pods. Not human, not alien, in between, hybrids. The inscription above them read, "Project Afterlight, Command Returns." We hadn't just lost history. We'd been replaced by it, and now it was waking up. The Silent Throne's pods hissed open one by one. Their occupants, neither fully human nor alien, emerged with eyes like shattered stars. They spoke in tongues we almost understood, fragments of lost Earth dialects. Commander Sarah stepped forward. They carry memories we never had, but their loyalty is unknown. I ordered containment protocols. The hybrids scanned us, then bowed. But their silence was a warning. They were not guests. They were reclaimers. Sabotage spread like wildfire. Core reactors fluctuated. Navigation systems flickered. And new ghost commands rippled through our AI. Orders contradicting fleet command, signed with my code. A shadow fleet emerged in the void sector. Unknown ships masked by our signature. Attacks on supply lines pointed fingers inside our ranks. Captain Reese's defection was only the beginning. The enemy was not just outside. They were within. We activated the Project Echo protocol fully. Soldiers volunteered for memory integration, sharing consciousness across neural links to uncover hidden truths. It was a gamble. The network sparked with collective memories, past battles, secret betrayals, and suppressed histories. But in the deepest layer, we found an encrypted message. Humanity erased itself. Rebellion is programmed. A virus in our bloodline. The war was not just external. It was inside us. Trust shattered. Admiral Voss or not, no one knew who to follow. Fleet factions emerged, those loyal to me, those swayed by the false admiral, and a third faction led by hybrids from the Silent Throne. Skirmishes erupted in orbital stations. Communication was fragmented. Every order risked sparking mutiny. I convened an emergency council, our last chance to unify or shatter the human fleet forever. The council was silent, because none of us fully understood who we were fighting, or why. The remnants of the coalition amassed again at Sol Ridge, drawn by the fractures in our ranks. Their new warlord broadcast a challenge. Surrender or be erased. Engines roared across the battlefield once more. Our weapons were ready. But the true battle was beneath the surface, within the minds of every soldier, every ship's AI, and every flicker of consciousness. Mercy had been our weapon. Now it was our vulnerability. The council fractured before it began. Voices shouted, alliances cracked like glass. The hybrids demanded autonomy, claiming their creation was the next step in human evolution. The false admiral argued we needed unity under a single command, him. I stood firm. Humanity is not just flesh or code, it's a choice. But choice was slipping away. The fleet teetered on the edge of civil war while the enemy waited patiently. A distress signal shattered the tension. Origin. A deep space abyss beyond mapped borders. The message was simple. Help us remember. We sent reconnaissance ships. What they found was a shattered world, lost in time, filled with ruins bearing human symbols older than recorded history. Inside the ruins, recordings of ancestors warning of an ancient purge. The truth was deeper and darker than any of us imagined. Our lead cryptographer, Dr. Ilya Marin, unlocked a portion of the ancient recordings. The purge wasn't just political, it was genetic. An engineered virus wiped memories and identities across generations, designed by humans themselves to control their future. The revelation hit the fleet like a shockwave. We weren't just fighting enemies outside, we were fighting the past's betrayals. The hybrids made their move. They seized key communication hubs, broadcasting a manifesto. We are evolution. We will end the cycle of erasure. Their forces clashed with loyalists in brutal urban warfare aboard orbital stations. Friendships shattered, trust dissolved. In the chaos, the false admiral vanished. No one knew if he fled or was captured. Amidst war and rebellion, a final broadcast echoed fleet-wide. A message in my voice, my memories, yet from a time I hadn't lived. This is not the end. Remember who you are. Remember what you fight for. The transmission ended with coordinates, a promise, a warning. The last hope lay waiting beyond the stars. The fleet altered course toward the mysterious coordinates. Navigators whispered of anomalies, gravity wells bending time, starfields rearranged like puzzles. Fold space became unpredictable, as if reality itself resisted our presence. I stood on the bridge of Vindicator, feeling the weight of every choice we'd made. Ahead lay unknown dangers, and maybe answers. The Silent Throne's hybrids watched silently, their eyes reflecting the stars we chased. We reached an ancient space station orbiting a dead star, the archive of the first dawn, a relic of humanity's forgotten past. Inside, holographic records flickered catalogs of wars, alliances, and betrayals erased from all history. Among the data, a single file titled Project Exodus, a plan to save humanity, not by war, but by hiding. The past was not just lost, it was deliberately hidden. To access the archive's deepest layers, we deployed neural link squads, soldiers connected in shared consciousness. The Nexus formed a collective mind, blending experience and memory, a vast web of human thought. But the deeper they delved, the more resistance they faced. Fragments of defense AI, corrupted memories fighting to stay buried. One soldier whispered as his consciousness flickered, "We're not just unlocking history. We're waking something else." A surge erupted in the Nexus. The archive's defenses activated. Massive cybernetic constructs materialized in the virtual space, guardians of forgotten secrets. The battle wasn't physical, but mental thoughts clashed like blades, memories distorted like weapons. Outside, the fleet held position, unaware their greatest fight was inside minds linked by fragile threads. Victory would mean truth. Defeat meant oblivion. Nexus survivors returned, changed. The Exodus was a mass evacuation, yes, but not from war, from themselves. Humanity fractured, and a splinter faction chose to erase its history to avoid repeating fatal mistakes. They seeded false memories, altered DNA, and even created the Silent Throne hybrids to guard the secret. We were heirs of a self-imposed amnesia, and the galaxy was waiting to judge us. The weight of the Exodus revelation pressed on us all. We were ghosts hunting ghosts, our past ghosts. The hybrids from the Silent Throne approached me, their voices layered with human regret and alien clarity. We were created to remember, to protect what you forgot. Yet their loyalty was fragile, caught between programmed duty and emerging free will. The fleet stood on the edge, between rediscovery and annihilation. Faction lines hardened. Loyalists to the original human code clashed with hybrids demanding autonomy. The false admiral reappeared, rallying forces with cryptic warnings of an imminent purge. Fleet battles tore through orbital rings and asteroid belts, laser fire painting the void black. I wondered, could we survive a war fought not just across space but inside our very souls? Decryption of the false admiral's transmissions revealed a hidden directive. Purge Protocol. A contingency built into human DNA, activated when memory was threatened. Targets: hybrids, dissenters, and anyone who questioned the Exodus. A war within a war. We retreated to the Citadel, an ancient fortress station cloaked in folded space. Here, we regrouped, repaired, and prepared. I convened leaders from every faction, desperate for peace. But trust was a fragile commodity. The enemy outside waited. The enemy inside plotted. Engines roared again, this time a call to arms for humanity's final stand. The fleet surged forward, united by a fragile hope. The Coalition's armada awaited in orbit around Sol Ridge. Our weapons hummed, our minds steeled. Our mercy was now a battlefield. The fleet advanced through asteroid fields, avoiding Coalition mines. Admiral Voss commanded from Vindicator, eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Brace for impact," she ordered. Enemy vessels warped in, dark silhouettes cutting through space. Battle was inevitable. Every decision could mean survival or annihilation. Amidst battle, an unexpected pause. A Coalition cruiser broadcast a ceasefire signal. Their commander's voice was calm, respectful. "Your mercy unsettles us. We seek parley." Was this a ruse, or the weapon humanity had wielded all along? During negotiations, sabotage struck. The Citadel's power core faltered. Blades of energy tore through corridors. A trusted officer was revealed as a traitor. Chaos erupted. Trust shattered. The war was no longer just against the Coalition. Hybrid forces rallied, taking control of key ships. They offered an alliance to the fleet's loyalists. Together, they planned a final strike, an offensive to end the war and the secrets that divided them. Engines roared for the last time. The human fleet charged. Laser fire lit the void. Shields flared. The fate of humanity hung in the balance. Mid-battle, a haunting transmission broke through the noise. A voice fragmented and familiar. Admiral Voss's, but from a timeline erased. "Remember, the true enemy is within." Ships paused. Systems faltered. Was this a warning or a trap? The Nexus, our neural link network, began to collapse. Shared memories spiraled into chaos. Soldiers' minds fractured, trapped in endless loops of forgotten wars. The hybrids fought to stabilize it, but the virus within was relentless. We faced losing not only the battle, but ourselves. Coalition forces unleashed a devastating assault. The Vindicator took heavy damage. Admiral Voss ordered a retreat. But as the fleet withdrew, new ships emerged. Familiar designs, but twisted. The Silent Throne's legacy, reborn in steel and fire. In the depths of the Citadel, a secret chamber glowed. Inside, an ancient AI awaited. It spoke of cycles, of destruction and rebirth, of humanity's endless struggle to remember and forget. The key to breaking the cycle lay in the past, and the choices yet to come. Engines roared as the fleet faced its destiny. Admiral Voss stood before the council. Do we fight to repeat the past, or choose a new future? The answer would define humanity's place in the galaxy, and the war that had erased us. Neural links pulsed unpredictably. Memories blurred, identities overlapped. Soldiers questioned their histories. The hybrids struggled to maintain cohesion. Old fears stirred. Were they truly new or echoes of forgotten selves? Amidst the chaos, a whispered message spread. Unity is survival. The false admiral resurfaced with a secret. A hidden fleet, untouched and waiting beyond the nebula veil. He offered a choice, join him or be left behind. But his motives remained shadowed in deceit. Was he a savior, or the harbinger of final ruin? While the fleet battled openly, a silent war raged within communication channels. Hackers, spies, and AI viruses tore at trust. Admiral Voss deployed countermeasures, but the web of deception ran deep. Every message could be a lie, every ally a foe. The fleet sought refuge at a hidden starbase, Sanctuary, rumored to house the original human AI core. Reactivation could turn the tide, but Sanctuary was a fortress and a trap. The cost of survival might be surrendering the last piece of our humanity. In the bowels of Sanctuary, the AI core stirred. Its voice was calm, ancient, and all-knowing. You have forgotten your origins, but I remember. As the core powered up, hope and fear intertwined. The final battle for memory and the future had begun. The AI core revealed forgotten histories, wars beyond our galaxy, betrayals among creators, and a cyclical war of memory and identity. It warned, to survive, humanity must break the cycle of erasure. Its knowledge was both a weapon and a curse. The false admiral launched a covert strike on Sanctuary. His goal: seize the AI core and rewrite history. The fleet scrambled defenses as shadows moved inside their ranks. The battle was no longer just physical. It was a war for control of truth itself. Amidst chaos, factions united. Hybrid warriors and human loyalists fought side by side, their shared purpose clear. Forged in fire, fragile alliances held. The fleet pushed back the false admiral's forces, reclaiming lost ground. The final confrontation loomed. Admiral Voss faced the false admiral on the command deck of a Vindicator. Words became weapons. Memories clashed. Only one could shape humanity's future. With a decisive strike, the false admiral fell. The AI core stabilized. The fleet, scarred but unbroken, charted a new course, not of conquest but of remembrance. Mercy remained their greatest weapon, and humanity's return was only just beginning. The war's echoes lingered. Ships bore scars. Minds carried trauma. Rebuilding was more than metal and circuits. It was healing broken trust. The fleet gathered to honor the fallen, knowing peace was fragile. Deep scans uncovered hidden data caches, encrypted messages from lost ancestors. Among them, a warning: memory is a double-edged sword. The fleet faced choices: what to remember and what to leave buried. Hybrids sought a new role, not as weapons or tools, but as equals. A council was formed, blending flesh and code. Their voices shaped policy, steering humanity toward unity. On a quiet station orbiting Earth, a memorial stood. Names etched in light: soldiers, hybrids, lost souls. Admiral Voss visited alone, reflecting on sacrifice and hope. A signal pulsed from deep space. Unknown origin, unmistakably human. It was faint, fragile, but unmistakable. A promise. Humanity's story wasn't finished. The fleet traced the faint signal to a distant star system. Unmapped, untouched. Sensors revealed a solitary ship, ancient yet alive. Its hull bore Earth's original insignia. A message awaited: we never left. Boarding the vessel, we found descendants. Humans evolved in isolation. Their technology was alien yet familiar. They held knowledge long thought lost. They carried the true legacy of humanity's past and future. Alliance talks began. The fleet extended a hand, bridging gaps between old and new humanity. Trust was tentative but growing. Together, they faced the galaxy's vast unknown. Engines roared with renewed purpose. The human fleet, reborn, prepared to explore, protect, and remember. The shadows of erasure faded. Engines roared across the galaxy. Admiral Voss watched from Vindicator's bridge. The journey was far from over, but humanity had returned. Not as forgotten ghosts, but as legends reborn. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.